Hi, my name is Brian, and I'm the High Pop Professor. And today I'm super excited to show a bunch of new slabs I now have in my possession. And while it's true, I did send away a couple cards to PSA a couple months ago, back in early July, and those grades are in fact popping. And so I will be getting some PSA returns back. A while ago, I did say that I had a stack of cards to send to PSA and a much bigger stack of cards that I was going to put into MagPros. And it being the summer, I had some time to work on that, and the fruits of our labor here have paid off. So what I went ahead and did is I put about 50 cards of my own PC cards into some MagPros. I invested about $10 in a really cheap paper cutter from Amazon, and I typed in all of the labels exactly as I wanted them, sent those images to CVS photography, had them print out 8x10s, used the paper cutter to cut out the labels I had for both the the High Pop Professor logo and the information I wanted on the cards. And I can't wait to show the final result of what I have here. So let's turn the camera around and check out some cool cards. All right, so I'm super excited to showcase the three different varieties of cards I had that I put in MagPros. The first variety of card were ones that hadn't already been in MagPros, so they're brand new to these kind of holders. The second variety were ones that I had already had in MagPros but had these handwritten labels, and I was upgrading them to the official printed out ones. And then the third and final kind were ones I had but that I had already had labels made for, but I was a little bit unhappy with how small the font size was, so I redid some of those. And so I'd like to just show, again, some of my handiwork I was able to do here. So we're going to start with some of these brand new ones that I haven't even put into the bags yet, but take a look at these cards. And so yeah, these will feature the, let's see if we can get this focused here. There we are. They've got the High Pop Professor logo right there on the sticker seal. And so I put the player name on the top. I put the set and the year on the top row, the type of card or insert, and then on the bottom, I put down the pack odds for that type of insert. So 1 in 4 jumbo packs was the pack odds, stated odds for pulling a Rookie Sensations card. The next to it, I have the true odds. And so what I do is take the 1 in 4 packs, multiply that by the number of cards in that set. And so we have 20 possible cards in that Rookie Sensation set. It does say at the bottom here, 1 of 20. And then what we do from there is multiply that true odds times the price per pack. And so again, these are in jumbo packs only. And so 92 Fleer jumbos, I'm calling those $2 per pack. Now in reality, they were very popular back in the day, and they would sell upwards of $4 or $5 per pack. And so in large part because of how popular the Rookie Sensation set really was. So this is the pack dollars to pull. So at $2 a pack, you'd have to spend roughly $160 in buying packs before you could expect to pull this Frank Thomas Rookie Sensation card. So that's the key to the information I have here. And of course on the back I've got my High Pop Professor logo, got the sticker there, and boy do these look clean. Oh wow. I really couldn't be happier with how these turned out. They are just wonderful. They are gorgeous. And let's go through some of these here, and we'll do it in order. At least for the first stack, we'll do it in order chronologically. All right, and here's another one here, 93, SP Platinum Power, Ken Griffey Jr., very condition-sensitive card. This is one I've considered sending in for grading a couple times, but I figured, with a little tiny touch of white there and tiny little touch on the corner, that's probably not going to come back a 9, so that's about as good as we're going to get. But here we go. And this was the best card you could have pulled from 93 SP back in 93, before anybody knew who Derek Jeter was. Yep, this would have been the biggest hit that you could have had there. Moving on, sticking with SP, but 94. Check out this beautiful Tony Gwynn Holo View Red. This is the Special FX. Oh man, got that refractor finish, got the hologram. There's Tony Gwynn. Now you can see him on the hologram. See that move, that motion on that hologram? I always wanted a Holo View Red, a Special FX card from 94, the die cut. And Greg Maddux is not in this set. And like Griffey is just too expensive. So so enter Tony Gwynn. Really, really happy to have this card. This was a fun pickup I had earlier this year. All right, moving on. We've got the first ever 1 per box gold signature from 94 Collector's Choice. And again, because of the size of these sets, you know, these are tough to get. Look at these true odds, 1 in 11,000 packs. And assuming it's $1 per pack, it's $11,000 you have to spend on packs to expect to pull this Greg Maddux gold signature. Here's a 94 Bowman's Best refractor mirror image with Maddux and John Waston. Got some hulking on there, of course. Pretty much all of them do. But that's okay. We take those. Here's a beautiful, love this, 94 Leaf, gold Leaf stars. This was Leaf's answer, of course, to the Donruss Elite. You know, at this time, the Elite cards were numbered out of 10,000, and well, that's what they had here. Very low number, considering the 10,000. Number 79. And this is a very sharp card. You know, sharp corners. Tough to find one that looks quite this nice. All right, speaking of cards that just look that nice and condition sensitive, woo! Look at this, 94 Leaf Limited. And this is the Leaf Limited Gold Stars, Gold All-Stars. And here, I'm gonna get that, yeah, we're getting a little bit of reflection. There we go, I can really see it shine. And these gold stars were also numbered out of 10,000. Look at that. And these cards are just phenomenal, and they look so good in these holders. I haven't even put in the clear baggies on this type yet. This, oh man, one of my favorite sets of all time, 95 Pinnacle White Hot, Barry Bonds. You know, these are the kind of cards that I would look at and really carefully scrutinize, and if I didn't think you'd get a PSA 9, it's probably not worth sending in. So instead of handing PSA a free 20 bucks, I'm just going to spend 3 on this holder and, you know, do it myself for a small fraction of the cost. And I think these things just look phenomenal. Wow. Yeah, I really can't recommend this enough. I mentioned before in my last video about this, but I spoke with, I emailed Kim over at the MagPro. Oh, check this out. 95 Emotion, Intense Griffey. Now this card I've also told her was sending into PSA. This one I think is probably a 9. But anyway, this is, yeah, and so Kim from MagPro was just so helpful in helping me with the design. I had an issue actually trying to format some of the text boxes were changing size on me and font, and I couldn't get them to look right. And so I reached out to her for a little bit of help with that, and she fixed the issue, and you know, she was just so helpful. And so I highly recommend. Oh, look at this Dufex. Oh man, 96 Pinnacle Starburst. Ooh, Griffey. You know, he's not blowing the bubble in this one like he is in 95, but this is about as classic as it gets too. So, love that. Love that image of him fielding too. All right. Okay, and we've got, all right, Gallery of Heroes. Now this one, you almost need to have it backlit with a stained glass. You don't really, yeah, can't capture it unless you can really see through that beautiful stained glass from 97. Topps Gallery. Gallery of Heroes. Absolutely love it. Just phenomenal. I love these cards. All right, moving on. We've got 98. Ooh, Donruss Collections Elite Prized Collections. Whoa, this card. These are wild. Oh man, these prized collections. And again, you know, getting the prized collections for Donruss or Leaf weren't that tough. They were, you know, maybe 1 in 5 packs, 1 in 7 packs. But again, as you went on, these were numbered, well, not numbered, but the print run of 220. You keep getting lower and lower until you got to the preferred prize collections that are really, really low. But this one only has a print run of 220. So tough one to get. You can see the PC for the prized collections right there. Yeah, love this one. All right, then we got a couple of these beautiful Mystery Finest refractors. And so here is the Maddox, of course, dual refractor, both sides. Maddox on the front, Maddox on the back. And then, of course, because we have the Maddox, we also have the Maddox Bonds. So here's the Bonds Maddox. This one was from my father in the JM collection, of course. He had the Bonds one, and of course there's a beautiful Maddox on there. So as he was looking to move him along, I said, ooh, I'll take it. And Maddox Gwyn. Lovely Maddox Gwyn. And so now I almost have them all. The only one I'm missing is the Maddox Ripken. And there was one that ended on eBay not that long ago. And it was in a weird slab. It was in like an Arena Club one. Like a Arena Club 8 or something. Anyway, I didn't get it, but I didn't go for it really all that hard, so. All right, and this one, see, this is one, 99 Stadium Club Chrome Refractor Bonds. This is one that I very nearly sent off to PSA, but just didn't quite make the grade, didn't make the cut. So it gets to live in this beautiful MagPro home. Look at that. Absolutely love it. I mean, this is just so much more of an affordable option, you know, to not feel like you're beholden to PSA, to have to, you know, spend 20 extra. Oh yeah, look at this peeled beauty. Woo! 99 Finest refractor. Oh man. Yeah, considered sending this one in too, but you know, not really a need to. You know, it wouldn't be a 10, and the 9s wouldn't be so, you know, so worth it necessarily. And then we got this one, same deal, the Sterling from 99 Finest, also peeled, of course. Yep. Get that dual-sided refractor. I do love that. I got that in the back. And now the last one for this grouping of cards, I'm a little bit torn with this one because I do love the card. I love the card. But I'm wondering if it's not worth it to maybe sell this one and recoup. I can't even believe I'm saying that as I'm looking at this thing. To go after that 98 SP Chirography Gwyn autograph. But this one is so sweet though. Maybe I don't want to do that. I mean, look at this thing. You know, this card here, this is one of those, you know, pack-pulled certified autographs, and it's got the stamp on there, and it's got this little stamp on the back too. It's also a double-sided refractor, and man, you know, again, this card's probably not worth grading. I don't think it would probably come back like an 8. But most of these, the autograph is like way faded, and this one's like super bold, super strong. So it's just beautiful. All right, so this was the first stack that I had, and these were cards that had not been in MagPros. Now they are in MagPros. The second stack of cards, these are ones that I already had in MagPros, but they were not, they had handwritten labels before. And so I wasn't happy with that. And so I went ahead and printed out and made really, really good labels here for these. And so we'll start again, chronologically. The oldest one I have here, after completing my Topps Tiffany run, I wanted to make a Bowman Tiffany run. And of course, it's only 2 years, it's only 89 and 90. And yeah, I didn't really need it to be graded. It's a beautiful presenting copy. It's probably somewhere between an 8 and a 9. But, you know, I don't need to pay $20 to get this thing slabbed up when I can just pay $3 and call it good. Yeah, same with this one. We got this beautiful 95 Bowman's Best Refractor. Wow. With no hulking, really. It's kind of a miracle. Yep, centering is way off, which is, yep, how they do. And this one, of course, is missing the refractor logo. So I had to mention that here, that it's no label variant. It's missing the refractor logo. So that's a really cool one. Here's a card that I don't get to show much, but my brother Iconic Al and I, we, back in the day, we opened quite a bit of this 95 Classic 5 Sport. And here's a really awesome, pack-pulled, authentic Vladimir Guerrero Sr. on-card autograph. And you know, he was still in the minors, and but yeah, this is, and of course this was unlicensed. You won't see any teams on there, and of course he was still in the minors anyway, so not that it would have mattered. But yeah, this was one of those. You know, this set's just very nostalgic for both of us for that reason. This was not pulled in the pack, but this might be one of his most affordable autographs that you can even get. And it's his older style before he sort of changed it to the big swooping V. All right, then we get, ooh, look at this, shiny gold. Wow, 96, Bowman's Best. Refractor, this is not the previews variety because of the number 85 on there. So we see the 85 and not the BBP for Bowman's Best Preview. And so this is the one that is trickier to get. And of course, I wouldn't grade this thing for a number of reasons, most of which being the centering, which, not that you can tell all that much, but it I don't know, it wouldn't be a 10. So what's the point? Okie doke. And we have a few other refractors. Here's a beautiful 96 silver refractor from 96 Finest. Just gorgeous. Love that. What a beauty. This was before they had the dual-sided refractors. They didn't start that till 97. And speaking of 97, well, here's 97. This one's a Bowman's Best refractor. Also just a beauty. Love this card. Love this set. And the atomics, yeah, they hulked out a lot, but the regular refractors didn't so much. So here's a gorgeous, gorgeous card. Look at that. Look at that shine. More 97 refractors. Here's a Bowman Chrome. Just because. Love it. Look at that. Awesome. Here's our 97 Finest. Masters. Another silver refractor. Peeled this one myself. And then, after all, I peeled it in preparation for grading, and then at the end of the day, decided, not to grade it. There's that dual-sided refractor from 97 Finest. Fantastic. Just fantastic. And how about Pinnacle Certified? Woo! Talk about cards that need to be peeled. Wow. Although these ones are not stubborn. These, unlike the Finest, are kind of stubborn. But these Pinnacle Certifieds are really easy to peel. And boy, they certainly are appealing when you get the coating off of there. Wow, these things are just so bold. Whew. And of course, here's the Mirror Blue. Stars, Certified Stars, subset. Fantastic. I do like for Maddox, though, that both the red and the blue are color match for Braves colors. That's great. Okay. And I have the gold somewhere, but that one's already slabbed up. Here's 98 Bowman Chrome Refractor. Compared to the other ones, this one looks so muted. But here we are. Bowman Chrome Refractor. How about a 98 Finest Refractor? Now this one is the protective coating version. It is peeled, and you can tell it's the peeled version because the back is not chromium. And the back also has the R written in here. The non-protector ones are chromium on the back and refractored on the back, and usually do not have the R written in. So careful with those. Moving on to 99. Here's a Bowman's Best Best Performers subset refractor, numbered out of 400. Just fantastic. Fantastic shine on these cards. Man, look at that. Number 134 out of 400. Awesome. Just love it. And of course, we had the other 99 Finest refractors. And this one already was in one of these MagPros, but it had a handwritten label that I wasn't happy with. And so now we've typed it out and made it official. So there we are. Continuing on, we have a 99 Topps Chrome League Leaders Refractor. Absolutely love it. Right there. Just fantastic. We've got another card. Let's see here. This is blocking the light if I do it this way. Let's move these out of the way. There we go. Another one. This one's from Series 1. How about one from Series 2? There we go. Maddox, Kerry Wood, Roger Clemens. Look at that. Woo! And of course, Maddox is on the sweet spot of that baseball. Clemens as a Yankee. Look at that. Fantastic. Number 460. There it is. Refractor. Boom. And now we're into 2000. 2000 Bowman. This card always makes me do a double take every single time. Because the name is in gold and it's refractor, it makes me think it's the golden anniversary refractor from 99 that's numbered out of 25, or 98 that's numbered out of 5. It's not, but, you know, one can only wish. Here's a 2000 Stadium Club Chrome. Gorgeous card. Gorgeous shine. No peel here, but didn't want to send this one in for grading. It's got a couple punk marks up there, and so, what's the point? All right, 2001 Finest. Now, here's the thing. I did a video a little while ago showcasing my 90s Topps Finest refractor run for Greg Maddux, and I stopped it at 2000. And so I don't know if I've ever even shown this card. It is numbered out of 499, as we can see right there. But I think maybe what I should do is I've completed the run through his Braves years, even into the early 2000s. And so it's 01, 02, 03, and 04 he had Topps Chrome in a Braves uniform, but by that time the 04 Finest was in a Cubs uniform again. So here's an 02 Bowman Chrome refractor, numbered out of 500. Just fantastic. Where's that number? There it is. Just awesome stuff. So yeah, I might have to do a follow-up video doing the more complete refractor run for Finest of all of his Braves years. Here's the same thing, but it's an X-fractor. What they would have called it an atomic refractor back in 97 or 96 or 99. But nope, they changed it to X-fractor at this time. If we can get it really close up, we can see it. Maybe, there it is. Yep. So by 02, they had switched that name back to where we have it today. Speaking of 02 Finest, there's actually a bunch of different varieties of these. Here's just a regular refractor from 02 Finest. It's numbered out of 499. Fantastic card. Now, what's also fascinating about this is that they had a couple versions of this. One of them was an unprotected, and one was a protected. And so the unprotected was numbered out of 299, not 499. And this one with the protective coating, I actually left the protective coating on this one on purpose. If it's gonna focus for me, maybe it will. There we go. Yep, Finest protective coating. You can sort of, there it is. Peel and remove. Because the one that's protected is not numbered out of 299, but just 99. So it's actually way tougher to get it with the protective coating. And so I left it on there to designate between the ones that don't come with it and the one that did. So that was an intentional choice. All right, 02. Look at this beautiful Topps Chrome gold refractor. Now, it's not really a gold refractor. I put it in single quotes there because the entire set was a golden color, at least for one of the series. The other one was kind of a greenish color, which is also beautiful. But you can't really call it a gold refractor because it's just the base, chrome refractor. That's all of them are gold. So it's not a special like a black or a red or blue refractor or anything like that. All right, moving on to 2003. Look at this beautiful Bowman Chrome X-fractor out of 250. It's so funny. This is the kind of card, actually, I submitted one like this earlier in the year to PSA and it came back a 10. And that was even with it having a noticeable refractor line like this one has right there. I sent it in anyway and got a 10, but I decided not to tempt fate twice. And I figured, you know what, let's quit while we're ahead and stop giving PSA so much money. Another one that I sent in and got a PSA 10 on, this is my replacement, 03 Finest refractor. There it is. Fantastic card. Absolutely love it. This one is not numbered, and that's fine. And then 03, of course, we did have some different color refractors here. The blue one is numbered out of 699. And I think actually I have the black one is currently out at PSA right now. And that one is, I believe it's in the QA phase, so it's almost ready. Or assembly, it's an assembly, that's right. So that one, I will be getting a grade on that one very soon from PSA. And yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be like an 8. I don't really know for sure. But a 7 wouldn't surprise me, but I think it's gonna be probably an 8. I hope it's an 8. All right, and of course, here's an 04 gold refractor from 04 Topps Chrome. Just fantastic. And so I am just so stoked to get, so pumped to get all these cards in these beautiful holders. They display so well. The stickers are all on there. And these ones I already had. You can tell they're actually in the perfect fit bags already. They display so clearly. You really can't see. The only indication you can kind of see is like the line where the adhesive has been, repeeled and resealed a couple times. And so, that's pretty nitpicky, but that's what we have here. The only last thing I did, the last version that I did with some of these labels, is that on a couple of the older cards that I had done, a very first ever batch, the text was a little small. Now this one wasn't as bad, so I left a couple of these, like here's a Bonds 93 Donruss Elite, and here's a Chipper Jones Pack Pulled Auto from 2001 Donruss Diamond King Studio Series. These were okay, they were a little bit small because I was a little too wordy, I think, on the labels. But then what I decided to do was on some of the other ones, I reprinted the text so it was a little bit larger, a little bit easier to read. So like with this game jersey card for Gwyn, I reprinted it and just stuck it in there on top of the already existing label. They were very thin, so it was no problem getting it to fit in there. And I think it's way easier to read. So I'm just really pleased, really pumped to get these in my collection. Same with this one. After I had made the video and figured out the print run exactly was 31.7 for these cards, 2000 gold refractors from 2000 Finest. Yeah, I had made it a little bit bigger, easier to read. Same with this, one of my favorite Dufex cards of all time. 97 New Pinnacle, Green Artist Proof. The greens were tough, man. Really, really tough. Here's a really cool Zenith Diamond Club with the real diamond chip actually in there. And that was like an Uber case hit. That was like 1 in 350 packs or something crazy like that. But there's an authentic diamond in that card. So really cool, really rare one. Tough one to find. You don't see that card very often. All right, love this one. The Retro Future Refractor from 2000 Bowman Chrome. Really tough. 1 in 60 packs just to get one of them. Huge set with like 400 cards, so awful, just terrible true odds to pull this thing. It doesn't get as much love though. It's not even that expensive of a card, but man, is it beautiful. It's nice. And speaking of beautiful and nice, here's one, 99 Bowman Chrome International refractor, and this one with the beautiful Alamo in the background. This one is numbered out of 100 from 99 Bowman Chrome. Love that label. And of course, I started to get a little bit too small with this text, so I again printed it out and made it a little bit easier to read for some of these cards. So anyway, yeah, hey, if you're considering giving a lot of money to PSA, I'm not going to talk you out of it. There are reasons to grade. If you're going to be able to pop some 10s and increase the value of your collection or put some of that extra value back into your PC, yeah, I'm not going to talk you out of it. I do it too. But if you're not planning on selling these cards, if these are ones you're just going to enjoy for yourself, I mean, I would strongly consider, especially if they're not going to grade out a 10 or probably not even a 9 for some of these cards. Like these cards just don't, they are so tough. Even finding this thing in a 6 is, it's like the PMGs. You don't find those in really good condition generally. So, but yeah, I would strongly consider, reaching out to Kim over at the MagPro website, and she'll help you design something. She's really great to work with. I could not be happier with the result of these awesome labels. And yeah, I recommend it really for whatever you collect, whoever you collect. If you're looking to put a certain run all together that have these kind of slabs, you know, I'm slab agnostic anyway, so they're all good with me anyway. But alrighty, well, thank you for joining me for the ride. I hope you had a great time looking at cards. I know I did. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.